Another Saturday in the bag. This morning's going to be a kind of more chilled out version of our Saturday cardio session. So after our warm up, we're going to get right into it, and then we're going to spend about 15 minutes doing some stretches, which is my favorite part. So I think we will just get going, and if anyone filters in, that's fine. So just make your way onto the floor. We're going to start in a seated position. So again, just doing something a little bit different in the warm-up. You're going to take 10 seated cat-cows. So alternating between that cactus position, so pulling the shoulders back and then pushing the hands away from the body, clasping them in front. So just working through that flowing movement for 10. And taking nice deep breaths to just help you get into that position, waking the shoulders up. And pushing the hands as far away as you can. Just rounding the spine. And then once you have done 10, we're going to come round onto our backs, ready for a glute bridge. So we're going to come up into glute bridge, and we're going to reach over to the opposite side as far as we can. So 10, glute bridge reaches. Again, feel free to reach as far as you can. This is all about our mobility before we start, so make use of it. So working through 10 of those, and then come back up into a seated position once you've done that. I'm going to go sideways so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to take our seated 90-90s. We did that, I think, a couple of sessions ago. So starting with the sole of one of our feet on to the opposite thigh, and then going to take the legs over. When we transfer them over, drive the hips through and up. So 10 of our 90-90s with a hip drive. I don't know if I'm the only one that moves during this. I feel like I get closer to the camera. So trying to keep the body nice and tall whilst we're doing this. Good mobility in the hips. So working through 10. And then we're going to take 10 movements from child's pose, so stretching all the way back, and then snaking forward into upward facing dog. So 10 of that snaking movement between. Really using the hands to push the body back into child's pose. Once you've gone through 10 of those, back round, and we're going to take 10 bridge into tabletop. So taking 10, pushing all the way through. So making sure but you could rest a glass of water on your stomach at the top. Driving through the heels. So 10 of those. And then we're gonna come into our deep squat position for our openers. So 10 deep squat openers. And then once you're done, just coming to the screen, and I'll quickly go over the plan for this morning, which I will put into the chat if anyone needs it. So this morning, because it's more of a kind of recovery style workout, we're still doing some cardio, but we've got a lot of rest. So we've done this style before, where we do 6 times 2-minute rounds, and within the 2 minutes, you have to complete 20 jumping jacks, 15 shoulder taps. I know that's an odd number. 10 glute bridges and 5 press ups. So it's very much kind of active recovery. So 6 rounds of that, 12 minutes. And we should have, I've worked it out, you probably will have around about a minute or just under a minute's rest. So very, very recovery based. So I think, unless anybody has any questions, we will get started. I'll kind of talk us through the first round, so don't worry about it if you can't remember. It is also on the screen if we want. So get yourselves into position, get yourselves ready, and starting on our feet. So the reps just go 20, 15, 10, 5, so nice and easy to remember. Let's go in 10 seconds. So 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's go 20 jumping jacks. And then down onto the floor, 15 shoulder taps. So in press up position, taking your time. And then down onto our backs for 10 glute bridges in streamline, driving the hips through. It's not very good streamline for me. And then 5 press ups to finish off. So we have 40 seconds to go until the start of next round. So do what you want to do to recover. Make sure your water's handy so it's nearby. And we're going again, round 2 in 15 seconds. So up onto your feet. In 5, 3, 2, 1, off we go. Then down onto the floor, shoulder taps for 15. Right onto the backs, glute bridges. And then finishing off, press up. Just under a minute to go. So this morning is just about getting our bodies moving to start our day. The intensity is much lower, but at some point we do need to kind of recover. So that's what this is about today. 30 seconds. So onto your feet, getting ready for jumping jacks in 15. Starting round 3, almost halfway there. In 5, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Give me all of your energy this morning. Remember, do not let the hips sway when we're doing our shoulder taps. Hold that steady position. Making every movement high quality. "45 seconds to go." Really good, guys. Really, really good. Just taking little sips of water as we go through. And we're going again in 15 seconds. Almost there. In 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, off we go. Good job, good job. If you do find yourself with a crazy amount of rest, feel free to hold a little plank on elbows for 20 seconds. But like I said, it's recovery, so it's okay if we have a lot of time on our hands. And 15 seconds, 2 rounds to go. And then we'll have some nice stretching. Perfect end to the week. In 5, 3, 2, 1, off we go. Making those movements perfect. We have one more round. Really good effort. Good commitment to the session, guys. I know it's not the most exciting. Okay, and we are going in 15 seconds. So last round, up on your feet. Let's give it that last bit of energy in 5, 3, 2, 1, off we go. Last one. You drop down on the floor. Very stable. Shoulder taps. Strong through the hands. And if you are done, let's just hold a nice plank on the forearms until I say stop. So holding it. Plank on the forearms. Holding, holding. And drop the knees down if you're on the plank. Quickly grab some water. Last 10 seconds if you happen to be going still. Well done, guys. So I want you to have your rollers or your kind of higher surface nearby, because we're just going to get straight into our stretches. So grab what you need to grab. If that's a roller, it could be books. Just anything that's kind of elevating your shoulders off of the ground. So we're going to spend a bit of time doing these stretches, so get ready to be in the same position for a couple of minutes. We're actually starting off with our higher surface, so our roller, our sofa, and we're going to come down into child's pose. So just setting the knees out wide, toes touching, and then arms are going to come onto the higher surface, and we're just going to drop our head through our arms and just let our hands rest onto that roller or sofa. And we are going to be here for 3 minutes, so just let yourself go. Really slow down the breath. Listen to the ambulance noises from my flat. So remember our favorite breathing pattern to slower breath down a bit is 4 in and 6 out. So try and get yourself towards that kind of count. So a minute to go here. Last 20 seconds. And just slowly roll the body up towards kind of a kneeling position. If you've got a roller, that would have been a bit easier. And then take the legs in. We're actually going to come around onto our backs now. So coming down onto your back. And we're going to go into a twist. So taking the right leg up straight and then pushing it over to the left-hand side. Just adjusting there. And making sure your shoulders are in contact with the mat. You can cactus the arms above, you can put them out to the side, you can place it on the knee, whatever you would like to do, just as long as we're getting a nice twist in the spine. And we'll be on this side for 2.5 minutes before we change over. So if your knee isn't quite on the ground, that's okay. It will probably make its way there as we get further through the stretch. And for a little bit more, you can face the head towards the right-hand side. So away from the knee. So a minute to go here. So just sticking with it for that last 30 seconds. And then when you take a next deep breath in, just peel that right leg back to center and just lay it flat. And then taking the left leg up, we're going to do the same thing. Push it over to the right hand side. And then adjust your position. My left knee doesn't actually touch the floor on this side, so that's fine as long as the shoulders are grounded. And then hands can go wherever is comfortable. So another 2.5 minutes. And then we will go on to our final stretch. And hopefully by the end of this session today, we're feeling refreshed and ready to go for a new week. A minute to go. Just check in and see if your body is relaxed into the position more. Excuse me. The dry throat from lying down. And then big deep breath, taking the leg back to center and just sitting up from there. So nice and slowly. Excuse me. Okay, next one is quite intense one. We're going to go into frog pose. So it's quite a wide pose. So you might need like cushions for your knees at the side. But we're going to start in tabletop. And then we're going to walk our knees out as far as is comfortable. Now, if you have any further cushions, you can use them to support your chest if you want. If you're a breaststroker, your feet will be able to turn out, but mine can't. So once we're in that wide-legged position, we're just going to walk our body down onto our forearms, and we're just going to hold here for 3 minutes, I think. So 3 minutes. It is quite intense. It does take a while to get used to. And remember, support the knees. So make sure there's something cushioned underneath the knees. As well with our body position, we want to make sure we're kind of in a neutral point. Too far forward, it's too easy. Too far back, well, you might be in a wee bit of pain. So just trying to find that sweet spot for the stretch. And we're already nearly a minute in, so 2 minutes to go. This is where our breath work comes into play. And just to make sure there should be no pain, no pinching. If it is, just walk the knees in a wee bit further. Last minute, just stick with it, try and concentrate. Last 30 seconds, see if you can stay in the same position without adjusting or making any movements. Last 30 seconds. And then taking a big deep breath, walking the hands in and sliding the knees in together. Just take a few movements side to side. And maybe some cat-cows. And then come up. We are now finished the session. Well done, guys. Thank you.